All right, last product review. We are going to take a look at the Gabi Drip Master A. So, Mike, this is what I'm going to need from you, buddy. I'm going to need 30 grams of ground coffee. So I'm going to put you in charge of grinding here, and he is using his Lido 3 while I put the Gabi, the Master A, together here for us. And it's a little bit tricky. It takes a little trial and error to figure out how the Gabi works.
Just like the filters for the Chemex, right?
Yes. I mean, there's
mind blown. Oh,
no way!
I think Ghostly shared us a picture on how that's supposed to happen. Some origami, old school method.
It looked like origami. Absolutely, it did. So the Gabi comes with Kalita Wave 155 filters, and they put it in a nice box. It matches, the filters are in a box that matches the dripper itself. It's white in color. It's got gold
gold leaf
stamp. Gold, yeah. Well, it's probably not real gold, but gold filigree. It's gold colored stamp, not stamping, printing.
I'm going to move away a little.
But it feels like it's more than just printed on there. Embossed, maybe. It might be a little embossed. Anyhow, but they specifically made it to fit something that existed already that would be easy for you to find filters. Hello, Blue Bottle, I'm looking at you. But they said, hey, the 155 Kalitas are what you can use, which is very interesting because Manny G loves him that Kalita Wave 155 as well. So the larger box contains the dripper itself, and it's got a manual in here that I didn't find real helpful. But after spending some time with it, I realize now what they're talking about. And
yeah, it takes a bit.
It takes a little bit, just because, it's in English, but the sentence structure is not, it's not from native English speakers. So it's just a little challenging. That's all. Not that, I don't appreciate it and it wasn't great to work through, and very thankful to have received it, to test it, and to review it.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it was a little challenging to understand. And that, I think that should be stated at the onset. The second thing that I thought was very interesting is that in 2007, they started their study on coffee.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In 2008, they opened a cafe.
Oh.
In late 2008, they opened the roastery. And then in 2011, they started their R&D for a dripper.
Okay.
In 2013, they applied for the patent. In 2014, they got an international patent. In 2015, they finally got the infrastructure in place in order to produce them. In late 2015, they incorporated a different company. And in then December of 2015, they opened their sales office, hey, let's launch this.
Let's make it happen.
So from 2007 to 2015, started a cafe, started roasting.
8 years.
Came up with a dripper.
Wow, they've been busy.
It ain't easy.
It ain't easy. You
have to take the long haul, the long road, the long look at it. So
we have 30?
Yeah, we got 30. That was great.
Nice. Look at that. That's perfect.
Thank you.
Just happy. Plug in the Lido 3.
There we go. Yeah, the Lido 3 is what Mikey was using there. The Master A, very sleek box, white in color, gray on the bottom, gold inlay. It's probably real gold. It's probably real gold. It's probably real gold.
You don't work on something for 10 years and not use gold.
And then not use real gold. So it comes in this plastic container. And at first I was like, well, what is this? Is this the dripper? I really had nothing. I didn't know what to expect. I had nothing to go off of.
Nothing.
And then I've been posting a little bit in the Daily Ristretto, and one of our listeners sends me a link to YouTube. It's like, dude, you could have just watched this video and figured out what it was. Well, I was like, oh, well, I'm an idiot. That's
don't watch videos.
I don't watch a lot of videos.
You don't even watch our videos.
I don't watch our videos.
You've seen maybe one halfway through.
Maybe. I listen to our podcasts.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because you produce that.
But I don't watch the videos.
But I make the video, so he doesn't watch the videos.
What I love about audio is that you can do something else while doing it.
That is true.
Unless you have YouTube Red. And plus, I'm not watching it if I turn my phone off. I listen. I listen and do other things.
Yes.
So inside this plastic container, you get a smorgasbord of pieces here.
You get a little puzzle.
Yeah, you get a little puzzle and you're like, what is this? It took me forever to figure out that the top portion where the water distribution chamber, where you add it and then it turns into this bloom drip thing. It's almost like a shower head.
Yeah.
That technology, that portion, it took me forever to figure out that they actually come apart and then they can just go back together there.
You should have watched the video.
It took me forever to figure that part out. Much longer than I really think I care to admit.
Yep.
So anyhow, let's get to we forgot mugs. No, we can't. Then we'd have to share a mug.
We need the white mugs.
We need the white mugs.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, so Mike is back with the mugs.
Got the mugs.
And it comes with this little plastic ring, which is a lip, so it's a kind of a size extender. So you can fit it on different sized mugs. You can fit it on a wide mouth
nice.
mug.
It's an adapter.
Or whatever, an adapter, yes. And then that has the basket that
clever.
the filter sits in. Well, it's not clever, it's Master A.
I know, but just quickly comparing to your other dripper, the Stag.
The Stag.
That was one of its negatives.
That was one of the drawbacks.
So that's cool.
So here the filter basket kind of sits right on top of there. And if you'll can you reach that, Mike? Can you give me a little pre-wet here?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not staying in there like it's supposed to. So that's never happened to me before. Let me grab another.
Hold on,
one
get
of these
a
things.
filter that wants to cooperate.
Get a filter that wants to stay.
It's the humidity. That's okay.
I don't know what it is.
I gotcha.
There we go. So you can still pre-wet the filter. No big deal. No problem
deal
at
at
all.
all.
And it drips out. See, it's got a single solitary hole that it drips out the bottom. There has actually an additional hole, but that's not the magic of the Master A. Is not kind of the basket where it drips out.
Yeah, because so far that looks just like kind of a standard dripper.
Standard dripper.
Hey, look at that. That works as a nice water container.
A nice little water container. So now we're going to it's very specific. They want you to do 15 grams of coffee.
Followed exactly. You're going to dump that whole thing. I know you are. It's okay.
Can you talk while I'm
No, this is
doing
good.
This?
I'm waiting eagerly for this to just shoot up to 30. Good job. Good technique. Real quickly, just a nice little tip. If you are using any type of grinder, but with the Lido, as Manny G has recommended to me, and I've used it every day, little drop of water, excuse me, before you grind in the top with the whole bean, pretty much allows...
What's the number on the readout there real quick, Mike?
Pretty much... you're at 27.6. Good try.
15.0. Thank you, Michael.
He did hit it. Good job, Jacob. I think you are a good ground pourer.
Thank you.
Device vessel filler.
Device vessel filler.
Use a droplet of water. You'll get pretty much all the grounds. It reduces static electricity and the cling.
So now you've got the coffee inside, and you can level it out if you want to. It doesn't really matter. You level it out inside it's a separate piece. It's plastic. It's it fits a filter inside of it.
It's like 3 pieces, huh?
And then it's got a little ring around the top in which you set the actual water distributor on.
So you got the distributor. I think they call this the water bottle.
The water bottle, the water distributor.
And then like the brewer.
The brewer, and then the adapter.
So 4 pieces
there's
total.
4 pieces total with
and the
this guy.
housing and the little.
And the housing. So at this point, I like to time it. There we go. I'm going to time it just because I want to know, but you don't need to.
So what are you going to do here?
All you're going to do is you're going to dump 150 milliliters of water in, and it's even got a little marker on there, and done deal.
That's it. Just pour it in.
Watch this.
And the magic happens. All right, so I can see that the water's coming through the single hole in the top. We're filling up the water bottle a little bit, and now it's distributing evenly across the shower head, if that's what you want to call it, where the holes are. And look, there's a little pressure building up. See, it's filling up, and it has yet to drain into the grounds.
It has yet to drain into the grounds. And so from the top, the water bottle, the water will flow down, and then the water will rise up, and as soon as you can see, it starts to drip.
There it goes. Enough pressure has been built up that it's finally passing through the shower head.
And that's what they call the blooming.
Built-in bloom.
Built-in blooming stage.
That's pretty cool.
And the water's going to distribute everywhere at the same time.
All 16 holes, I believe it said.
Simultaneously. The water is going to start being distributed to it.
Yeah, throughout the grounds. Even now, when I saw this, I'm like, this is like a Nell drip. If you guys are familiar with the Nell drip device that you hold over a brewer and pour on it, this is built in. Same idea, except this is built in.
All in one.
And on top it has the water container. So you don't even have to stand there and pour.
No, you pour 150 and you walk away.
You let it happen.
And you just let the magic happen.
Yeah, and so the water bottle now is almost empty. The rest of the water is in the second chamber just above the distribution.
The shower head there.
Yep, the shower head. Good. We'll use that word.
We can use distribution nozzles if you prefer.
The distribution chamber.
Distribution chamber.
We have the water chamber, the reservoir chamber, the distribution chamber,
the water
and the brew
is finished
chamber.
dripping out at about a minute 30. I start from start to
From
the dripper at the top.
The water bottle?
The little water bottle, it emptied at a minute and a half.
Gotcha.
And now this looks like the reservoir with the shower head reservoir, the chamber, the distribution chamber.
Okay, there you go.
That is almost done. It looks like it's going to be empty at about 2 minutes. Okay, there's 2 minutes, and it's almost gone. But you can see the water has built up inside the actual brew chamber.
Yeah, it looks like everything's saturated pretty good.
Everything is saturated.
I can smell it.
You can smell it brewing. It's the delicious King Cup that Mikey roasted up. We wanted to use it so that, because we're familiar with that flavor, we want to be able to see what's what with it.
Yeah, so we can compare it. Now, grind, I'm sure, as with any brew method, you got to dial it in.
You can tell that it's a little off-centered or a little unbalanced because the water is finally out, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, you don't have to, but we can sneak a little peek in there. You want to sneak a peek?
Take it off. It's a nice level bed there.
It's a nice level bed. Looks like we've got even distribution, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And that is when we're done.
That's it. You want to call it?
We're done. Yeah, we are done. So that is where we're at. Mikey, that is for you, a 10-to-1 ratio.
Which is what they recommended.
I followed the instructions completely. You had 15 grams of coffee, 150 milliliters of water. It doesn't give you a whole lot of coffee.
No, it's a smaller cup, which I think other cultures are more prone to, more used to. Yeah,
they drink less.
So it's interesting. That would be the next test. Can you do more? So I'm just going to stir it a little bit.
This is what I've done. I've done it I've done two different ways. I have put 20 grams of coffee in, which fits okay. And then I filled up the 150 milliliters twice. But it takes forever. It takes 6 minutes, because it forces the time.
Yeah.
And then the other way that I've done it is treat it like an AeroPress, where I did 150, brewed it like this, and then I just added a little. I added double the water to make it a little.
What did you think of that? What did you think of that method? Jake's gone. He's lost his mind. Oh, he's back.
There we go.
Adding a little water. Do you think it brewed strong? Maybe it didn't. So I'm drinking it. A couple sips in.
Yeah. Do you think does it taste like a stronger ratio? Because you had said that the Nell says it produces a weaker cup.
Well, that was some of the feedback I had seen from people. Is that they think they were getting good extraction, but since maybe there wasn't as much agitation, they were getting a weaker tasting cup. So this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
Does it feel stronger?
It does not come across as a 10-to-1.
No. All right. Let me hand me my orange mug there, will you, please?
The
Bitcoin mug.
Thank you. There we go.
Sorry. So, many of you, if you can see this, it's a large orange mug with a black Bitcoin symbol on it. And Mikey got this for me when we started our Bitcoin mining project. I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to talk about that at this point in time.
No, we were part of the beginning. You can always look back. And plus, this mug was to support a young entrepreneur that was making them with his father, which was kind of cool.
Now, what about Bitcoin being at $4,000 a coin?
Yeah.
Does that bother you at all?
Bitcoin,
knowing that that our mining operation, when we were forced out by
due to many circumstances, life among other things,
cost of electricity, value of Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it. Can you give me a little pour down here?
Yeah, I can take care of you.
It was at $800 a coin.
Well, when we ended, truthfully, it was even lower. We held on until about 4.
We held on as long as we could. Learned some very valuable lessons that we are now using in coffee. And that is that we are going to run a business and make no money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty much it. No, we still both believe in the viability of the cryptocurrency for just finishing that sentence.
Without a doubt.
But mining is a beast, and it's hard to compete with pretty much other countries that offer free electricity because they produce too much. Hey, set up shop next to one of our plants because we're producing too much. You help us, we help you. APS isn't about that out here by us, unfortunately. So that was one of the main factors.
Yeah, the cost of electricity will come into play a lot when you're mining.
What kind of operation you guys got going back on there? You got a lot of lights running or something? No. So anyway, back to the Gabi. So the name struck me as I was trying to read through the literature and look at the box myself. They call the Gabi Drip Master, but then elsewhere it's referenced to as the Master A. So I think we've determined right that the device itself is called the Master A, and it's made by Gabi.
Yeah, I think so. So now we're roasting the second batch. We're brewing the second batch here, and it's. I got to be honest with you, it's very fun to watch.
It's cool.
It's very cool. I don't know if all of the theatrics are there for cafe use, and I got to be honest with you, I would prefer it to be made from glass or porcelain.
It'd be hard to get the components to interlock like they do. Now think about this though. If somebody wanted to, I said that twice, I know, sorry.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to,
really wanted to, they wanted to have a cup at their table, but they didn't want, a full barista like we've talked about before in our full-on experience section of the cafe.
Yeah.
But you know how they bring the French press to your table and they're like, here's a timer, push it down at 4 minutes, pour your own coffee. Well, you bring out the Gabi, hit it with water, and you say, as soon as that's done draining, you simply set it off and your cup's done. And you could bring 2 of those. Yeah. And so it's very similar to me, the experience I had when I went to, I'm going to try it here, Vietnamese cafe.
Wow. You really nailed it.
I had to think about it. I have to say Vietnam first in my head, and then I can say. But anyway, they bring you the little fin, and it does its thing right in front of you. It reminds me of that.
I hate to interrupt the flow that we've got going because it's wonderful. Would you let the dog out through that door real quick for me?
Honey's here. Oh, what a cameo. There you go. Yeah. I would want to leave too.
Cannot blame her. So you're almost done with that cup.
I am. I've enjoyed it. Yeah. It's good.
It produces. It's impossible to mess up.
That's what's cool about it, and it's not a true 10-to-1 in my book.
Yeah,
it's not overly strong like you would think a 10-to-1 would be.
So boom, look at that.
In fact, I think it could benefit from even being going a little weaker, pulling back on the ratio a little bit. So one thing to keep in mind that I thought of at the beginning, and as I'm watching this, is that a level surface, as with any brewer, I think makes even more difference because obviously but look at that. You got little water droplets almost hanging off all 16 of the little valve holes there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so level surface.
Out of each little coffee nostril.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about this is in the great batch brew versus single pour over debate, one of the positives that they claim for the batch brew is that it has a shower head, which is more efficient.
Yeah.
Well, this guy has a built-in shower head. Well. And it's technically, I would say, still kind of a pour over.
And in 3 minutes, you get 150 milliliters of awesome coffee.
Have you looked them up? Do they have a Master B that's maybe a 300 milliliter size? Because it says right on the side they're 150.
Yeah. Do
they have the Cletus got different?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
But we got to find out. We've got to find out. They said that it retails for $35, which is
right in the blue bottle,
right in kind of the range for a lot of these types of drippers. So
and the December and everything, you can get a V60 cheaper.
That's true.
But the nice thing about one thing too, just to point out, is the filters it uses.
And I did. Yeah, Kalita 155s.
Yeah,
so you can find those pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, those aren't bad. So you got your cup. In the Bitcoin mug, which makes everything taste better. Not bitter.
It's a great cup, great flavor.
I had a little zing down the tongue on the first sip. It really did pop.
Yeah.
So
all right,
that is the Gabi. So Master A, I liked it. I might have to steal it.
Yeah, you can steal it, you can borrow it, and we will talk to you later.